Washington, a 6'6" guard, number 31, Terrence Ross. From Westchester High, a 6'9" forward, number 15, Amir Johnson. Number 17, a big man in the middle. He's a 7-foot center from Lithuania. This is Jonas Valanciunas. And number 10, he's a 6'7" guard from USC. Ladies and gentlemen, DeMar DeRozan. From Villanova, a 6-foot guard, number 7, Kyle Lowry. Your head coach is Dwayne Casey.
Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And joining us a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. And you can feel the energy here in Air Canada Center. The Raptors looking to please their fans in this Eastern Conference matchup. And it's the Cavaliers to start out. Here's the starting group for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Irving and Waiters, the guards. The two stars, LeBron and Love, at the 3 and the 4. And it's Varejao in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's LeBron. Waiters dishes to Irving. Clock at 6. Trains the three-pointer. Irving's got his team on the board to start the game for the Cavs.
Kyrie Irving 3 seasons ago was the only rookie in NBA history to shoot as well as he did from the three-pointers, the field, and the free throw line. There's no question about it. He is an elite shooter.
On defense, Toronto. The feed to Love. It's stolen by Lowry. Here's the floater, and he gets the bucket. About a minute played so far here in the first. And Waiters kicks to Varejao. Outside Irving. Left side, Love. And that one's good. Love's got his first points in this one.
Maybe they're still working out the kinks defensively because that was a blatant mistake.
Outside Lowry. Now here's Valanciunas. He's guarded by Varejao. Ross, that's good.
These guys know each other well, clearly, because that was a beautiful pass.
Cleveland with the ball. Waiters gets a wide open look. Here's Varejao, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Boy, what a great job making good on the second opportunity. He stayed with that play from start to finish. Anderson Varejao, a quality defensive center, great rebounder, moves his feet well, anticipates, plays with a ton of energy, and he's one of those irritants. He gets under a lot of guys' skin.
That's good from Varejao.
And Varejao coming in to the league primarily as a defensive energy guy, but he's expanded his offensive skill set and has made great improvement as a passer. From his rookie season to now, he's more than doubled his rate of assists.
And Varejao, a good decision maker, Steve, for a center. A 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio last year.
And he had a terrific season as a two-point jump shooter. You know, able to spread the defense out a little bit and operate from the high post. Kyle Lowry, an unrestricted free agent this offseason. Last year playing really well in a contract year. Question is, can he maintain that level of play now with this new deal?
The free throw drops for Kyle Lowry. And Lowry, one of the more underrated players in the NBA, but he's also gotten into it with coaches in the past too, Clark.
Yeah, you know, some locker room concerns, he can rub folks the wrong way, but I tend to always want to give the player the benefit of the doubt in this situation until you know for sure what the issues are. Nothing wrong with a little sandpaper coming from a player that's out there competing.
And he makes both free throws.
A career best performance from Kyle Lowry last season, posting best in scoring and assists. A lot of people felt like he was the player most egregiously overlooked when it came to the All-Star game.
Now here's James. There's the dish to Varejao. And that one's good. Varejão's got 5 points so far.
They're off and running. Good start here. They've knocked down 4 of their first 5.
And Lowry, arguably the Raptors' best player last season. Despite that, Stevie was the subject of repeated trade rumors.
Well, it was such a curious situation for Toronto. On one hand, they were trying to rebuild at the beginning of the season, maybe get a top draft pick, and then all of a sudden they started playing well. In the end, no trade. Lowry becomes their best player, and then he leads them to a top 3 seed in the playoffs. So it's kind of a strange season.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Johnson sends the screen for DeRozan. And it's Lowry penetrating. That's good. Lowry's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Boy, nice work inside. Tough to get that shot over a big defender like that.
No, that takes skill and creativity, Steve, particularly on the release to make sure he doesn't get a hand on it.
Shot is blocked, and they'll keep possession. And on the way from Irving for 3. Again, Irving missing. Raptors trail by 3. Pass to Valanciunas. Into Johnson. Stolen by Varejao. Varejao with a screen on DeRozan. And Waiters kicks to Irving. Again, Irving missing.
Well, it happens. He's wide open, but just couldn't get it to go.
Here's Ross. Johnson, a wide open look. It's on target from the high post.
Great rise and dime there. He changed gears in midair to make the assist.
For Cleveland, they've gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. 11 feet away. Second chance shot, and it's laid up and in by Varejao. Varejao's got 7.
That putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out. That's the results you get right there.
And the jam by Ross.
A surreal alley-oop that time, partner.
The pass, Clark, the catch, the dunk, all of it perfect.
Precision at its finest.
Yeah, and it all had to be perfect and in precision. That's not nearly as easy as they made it look.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, I think that could really set things up well the rest of the game. Pound the ball inside and let your perimeter players play off your bigs.
Here's Lowry. Anderson Varejao making his last shot. Lowry passes to Ross. Back to Lowry. There's the triple. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers. To the inside. And Dion Waiters, the bucket on the assist by Irving. Irving's got 3 assists in the game. Raptors trail by 5. Outside Lowry. Johnson sets the screen for Lowry. Fires the 3. Lowry can't get that one to fall.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
Well, you don't see him miss that shot very often. When he's open like that, it's usually lights out.
Now here's Waiters. He has 5. Feeds it to James. Shot clock at 6. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Jonas Valanciunas.
Well, it's funny. Back when LeBron joined the Heat, some critics said he'd given up the chance to be the franchise player and carry his team. But guess what? No matter who LeBron plays with, he's always the franchise player. That's how good he is.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Cavaliers.
And right from the start, guys, it's apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
Also, what passing we've seen from them here early. I mean, there could be a big number in the assist column if this keeps up.
The Raptors making a switch here. Patterson's checked in. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And you think back to LeBron after the 2011 finals, many also questioned whether he had, quote unquote, what it took to win a title. He's obviously answered those questions.
Lowry drives in. Johnson. The Cavaliers pull it in.
And no excuses there. Got a really good look at the basket after being freed up by the pick.
We say it all the time. The execution was excellent, the result not as good, but good ball movement anyway.
And some harsh criticism, Clark, for LeBron after the decision, or his comments after the 2011 finals.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? It's really impressive to see how he's handled that. He misspoke and mishandled both of those situations, and to his credit, he's expressed regret about those things, displaying a maturity we've always seen in him. One of the remarkable things about LeBron is that for the magnitude of his celebrity and his stature and the expectations, I don't know if we've had an athlete handle himself any better under the hot, bright lights of stardom.
Cleveland leading by 5. Love with the screen on DeRozan. James dishes to Love. Shot clock at 6, and he banks in the layup. And the Cavaliers lead by 7.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
Now here's DeRozan. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Lowry inside the line. Again, the miss by Lowry.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
LeBron right side. Here's the 3. Here's Varejao. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. Lowry with the ball. Guarded now by Irving. Lowry kicks to Patterson. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry.
Now, they read the defense perfectly that time.
Cleveland leading by 5. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach David Blatt, and he said a big factor in this game will be how well they're able to handle Kyle Lowry. He admitted being a fan of his game, saying he's a tough athletic guard who really competes. Defense, rebounding, attack the paint, he'll take it to you. We've got to be ready to match his motor and his aggressiveness. Kevin, are they up to it?
Thanks a lot, Doris. Pushing it up. Here's Love, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Love's got 6.
In terms of rebounding, it's been a sensational opening quarter.
I like sensational. That's a good word for it.
Johnson sets the screen for DeRozan. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Varejao with a screen on DeRozan. The drive by James. Cleveland gets it back over Johnson, and it's blocked by Johnson.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
DeRozan against Love. Ross with it. 6 on the shot clock. Here's DeRozan. The second chance effort. Patterson, that's good. Patterson's got his second basket.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there. The Cavs just never really built any consistency last year for long stretches, and when that happens, it's hard to get wins away from home.
Now here is Varejao. 9 points in the game so far. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Cleveland, as you said, struggling on the road last year. Only 14 road wins. That's not going to cut it.
shooting for Cleveland.
Well, a big part of the problem for Cleveland last year was talent on the roster, so you can assume things will be different. Clark on the road for him this season.
Things are going to be different in a lot of ways as long as LeBron is leading the way. And they'll be on the same page. He'll make sure of that. So look for a lot different outcomes in Cleveland.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Hansbrough's checked in for Johnson. Williams comes in for Terrence Ross. And it's Vasquez in for Kyle Lowry. A big group substitution here for Cleveland. Thompson, he's checked in for Varejao. Marion comes in for Kevin Love. Miller's checked in for Dion Waiters, and it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Kyrie Irving. It's been a while since the Raptors were legitimately viewed as a threat in the East, but last year, they were one of the top teams.
Yeah, and that was in a year, Kevin, where everybody assumed one of the New York teams would win the Atlantic. The Raptors were able to secure that division, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with going forward.
Patterson, off target from outside. The Cavaliers leading by 6. The drive by James. Here's Dellavedova, and the layup's good off the glass. Dellavedova's got his first basket. So it's Toronto now. 1:33 left to play here in the first. Here's Patterson. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Patterson's got 6 points. Cleveland's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. Here's Dellavedova. Marion setting the pick for James. The teardrop falls in. He has 7. Raptors trail by 8. 58 seconds left here in the opening quarter. The pass to Williams. Dishes it to Patterson. Outside DeRozan. Williams passes to Hansbrough. Good, great play by Williams to set it up.
Boy, this game is off to a terrific start.
No doubt, on both sides, high-octane offense.
29 seconds left to play here in the first. LeBron with it. Guarded now by Patrick Patterson. James outside. Just 5 to shoot. Jacks up a 3. And again, LeBron missing. And here's Vasquez. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Patterson dishes to DeRozan. And he gets it to go. Now just a 4-point Cleveland lead.
He's got so much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Cleveland ahead, up by 4. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. What stands out to you from the Cavaliers in this one?
They've done a nice job on the offensive boards here, guys, and I think that was the difference in that first quarter, really pounding the offensive glass.
Well, they set the tone early with their mindset, their tenacity, and their hustle. I mean, that's the way they've come out, and it's served them well.
Here's Williams. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Cavaliers, they've got Mike Miller. LeBron James is out there with Marion. Then it's Thompson, and it's Dellavedova in at the 1 spot. Clock is at 3. Here's Williams. Here's Hansbrough. There's the bucket. Good. Hansbrough's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Raptors. The Cavaliers leading.
Tyler Hansbrough, known as Psycho T back at North Carolina, big-time banger, seeks contact offensively and draws a lot of fouls, too.
Now here's Marion. He dishes it to Dellavedova. 6 to shoot. The drive by LeBron. Marion kicks to James. Dellavedova, the pass to James. Miller outside. Here's Marion. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
That's his first personal.
And Hansbrough single-minded offensively, and I don't mind that. Hey, you catch the ball in positions he gets it in to score. Some would even go so far as calling him a black hole, but, you know, last season he was a little more selective, and I think he had his best season yet as far as scoring efficiently.
And he makes the first. And Hansbrough, a pretty good post defender. His physicality really serves him well.
And he's improved his rebounding rate the last couple of seasons as well. You know, he's got good mobility for his size, so he keeps himself in the mix for all those loose balls.
Waiters, he's checked in for Cleveland. Both good from the line that time.
Sean Marion, with 15 years in the NBA, a very good 15 years, basically talked about retiring even though he was still playing well at the conclusion of last season. Although I guess he did have a change of heart.
Now here's Vasquez, looking for his first basket still in this one. He feeds it to DeRozan. The shot's good. Vasquez making the play.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
And Marion, a 4-time All-Star, one of the most athletic and versatile players in league history. Still an excellent role player, even after all these years.
Waiters with the ball, guarded by Vasquez. Here's Thompson, and down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
Some hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
Oh, boy. Whipped cream, cherry on top. It always comes back to dessert for Clark.
And the Raptors with the ball, following the score by Cleveland. Williams' shot is off. And Marion has made a good chunk of change over his career. A lot of money. He said he wanted to walk away while he could still walk.
Yeah, well, he can't walk, and his game certainly could still walk and talk. An excellent defender, an energy player, a stat sheet stuffer. I'm quite pleased that he hasn't decided to hang him up yet.
Here's Waiters, the stupendous finish in traffic. Now it's a 5-point Cavalier lead.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
The Raptors weren't really dominant at home by any stretch last year, but they were a much stronger home team than years past, and I think that helped them get to the playoffs. No doubt about it.
Some changes for Toronto. Amir Johnson's checked in for Hansbrough. Terrence Ross comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Lowry in for Lou Williams. Then for the Cavaliers, Love comes in for Miller, and Kyrie Irving subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Yes, Kevin, LeBron James joining a younger team with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He said, "We're not ready right now. It will be a long process. My goal is still to win as many titles as possible, but what's most important for me is bringing one trophy back to Northeast Ohio. Our city hasn't had that feeling in a long, long time." Kevin, what a worthy goal.
Cleveland's last pro championship back in 1964, Doris. Thanks. Now, here is Irving. Shot from the wing, and he nails the jumper. Irving's got 5. Guys, you know, the Raptors were solid, but not great at home. 26 wins was only 5th best in the entire Eastern Conference. But, Steve, they felt the advantage here in the playoffs.
Yeah, what a scene it was in this building last year during the postseason. The chants, the noise level, almost felt like a European soccer match in terms of the atmosphere for that first-round series. Amir Johnson drafted straight out of high school back in 2005, now in his 10th season in the NBA, and he's only entering his prime now.
And that one falls for Johnson.
And you know, I'm all for young players going to college to develop, not only athletically, but socially and personally. But Amir Johnson is an example of a player who came straight out of high school, didn't play a whole lot at first, but has continued to work and has really rounded into a valuable player now.
Count the bucket.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
The Cavaliers have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Irving kicks to Marion. Irving with a clean look. Wide open shot is on the money. Irving's got 4 points this quarter. And Amir Johnson, quietly one of the Raptors' best players. Steve, a very good player at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he's a plus-minus stud for this team. He's a high percentage scorer who also defends at a very high level. So this is a good two-way player.
Here is Lowry, following the basket by Kyrie Irving. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Amir Johnson is one of the longest tenured Toronto Raptors in his 6th season with the team now. And with the departures of Bargnani and Ed Davis, he's assumed the starting role, and I think he's responded quite well to it.
And Amir Johnson has said he wants to play the rest of his career, Steve, in Toronto.
Well, he's really embraced the community, connected with the fans. And, you know, for people who haven't been to Toronto, they don't know what they're missing. It's a wonderful city, and the support that the Raptors get is just awesome. I mean, they fill up the building. They even fill up the park right outside the building to watch the games during the playoffs. It's awesome.
He's perfect from the line this time.
The Cavs tried to make a push for the playoffs last season, in a way going against the grain, but instead a disappointing season when it was all over. The coach and front office questioning the team's effort level.
Now, here's Thompson. Pass to Waiters. Love at the elbow. Nobody near Irving. That doesn't go in either for Irving.
And he continues to search for his rhythm. It's eluded him to this point. You got to like his shot selection today. He set a good example for the rest of his teammates.
Well, the Cavs did make some big changes from last season, and they shouldn't have a problem staying motivated, putting in the effort this year.
Well, you know, Kevin, last year they were a very young group and didn't have the vet presence they might have needed. With LeBron coming in, they've got brilliance in every category, leadership and play. He's got the clout of his championship rings. The whole mindset of the team is about to go to a very different and high level.
Now here is Lowry. 8 points for him. Here's Vasquez. That one off the back iron and out.
Really good defense, but you got to set better screens than that offensively.
Irving kicks to Marion. Passes it to Thompson. Back to Marion. And Tristan Thompson on the bucket with the assist by Marion. And it's a 6-point Cavalier lead. Raptors have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Into Johnson. Love grabs the board. Love's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Waiters dishes to Irving. And Waiters kicks to Marion. The feed to Irving. Lets the 3 fly. Count that one. Irving's got the lead up to 9 now for the Cavs.
Seems like guarding him on the perimeter is not a priority for this defense, but it will become one if he continues to knock them down.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
Good game for Lowry. He has 8 points and 5 assists. The assists have been coming for him, along with putting some numbers up from the foul line, too.
Yeah, very unselfish play from him. He's been really a tremendous factor in this game.
Free throw good, Lowry.
They've been getting more and more physical as this game has gone along.
Clearly, and they've gotten a lot of trips to the line because of it here in the second quarter.
Anderson Varejão's checked in for Tristan Thompson. No good on the second free throw.
You know, there were a lot of people, me included, thinking that Cleveland would take a step forward and be a team that could make moves in the East and perhaps get to the playoffs, but injuries and inner turmoil really kept that team from being playoff caliber.
Toronto calls timeout. At this point of the game, always important to stay focused, and while the coach goes over the game plan, these players are getting a much-needed chance to rehydrate and refuel with Gatorade. And guys, we know the drill well, all three of us drinking the Gatorade too.
Yeah, no question.
Right.
I mean, Kevin, people have no idea the fatigue that can set in during a telecast. And so it's important for us to stay hydrated all game long.
Clark, you're always hydrated.
Yeah, I try to be, but it's usually with a combination of H2O and Gatorade.
I love Gatorade. And look at Steve. He has the Gatorade shirt on.
Yeah, he's really immersed in the Gatorade.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Foul call. Kyle Lowry. That's his second personal.
Kyrie Irving, clearly a player who's dreamed of greatness from a very young age.
2 shots.
Going back to the 4th grade, he wrote, "I'm going to the NBA," and he wrote it across the back wall of his closet. And while it was hidden behind his clothes, it certainly wasn't far from his head or his heart.
And Irving still wanted to write down goals. He used to write them in a notebook he still keeps. Now he'll write them down in his phone, all part of setting his sights high and dreaming big.
And he sinks the second. And for Irving, just like those words in the back of his closet stayed hidden, his great talent stayed hidden for a long time as well.
Yeah, it didn't really dominate until his senior year of high school, Kevin. Only 11 games he played at Duke. It might seem he was an overnight sensation in the NBA, but in truth, he spent a lifetime laying the foundation for his game.
Now here is Verjao, and stolen by Kyle Lowry. And Valanciunas kicks to Ross, and he jams it with authority.
Boy, the kind of moment you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof. Yeah, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities, that's what it's all about.
Irving's shot is good.
Well, and the bounce pass was the key to the play.
Here's Lowry. He's got 9. He kicks it to Vasquez. Lowry a screen on Waiters. Here's Vasquez. An easy layup after coming off the pitch. Vasquez has got his first points of the game.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
And here is Waiters. He's got 9. Deflects the pass. It's stolen by Vasquez. Kicks it to Johnson. The 3. Shot is good, and the Cavaliers lead cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Vasquez.
And that kind of defense is just not going to cut it, guys. I mean, they have to get a hand in his face.
Now, here is Irving. 13 points in the game. And Verjao kicks to Irving. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. For Toronto, they've gone 7 of 11 from the field in the second quarter. For 3, Ross. Sean Marion grabs the miss.
Got a good look, though. I thought that was going to go down.
Well, the D may have done just enough there, Clark, to bother him and throw that shot off.
Irving with it. Lowry picks him up. Irving's shot is good. Irving's got 12 now in this quarter.
And he's shaking off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
Ross kicks to Lowry. There's the dish to Vasquez. Raptors moving the ball around. No good from Ross.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
No, that's for sure, because this guy's too good of a shooter to miss that look consistently.
And Toronto making a change here. Patterson's checked in. Cleveland also making some changes. LeBron comes in for Sean Marion. And Mike Miller subbed in for Waiters. Raptors trail by 8. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, the Cavs' David Blatt, the first ever NBA head coach directly hired from the international ranks. Though he grew up near Boston, a die-hard Celtics fan, he represents all the aspiring NBA coaches from abroad, saying, quote, "I feel a great sense of responsibility. I feel like I've got to do a good job." Kevin, he's certainly got the personnel to do it.
A roster loaded with talent, Doris. Indeed. Thank you. And here's Irving. Patrick Patterson getting it to go from deep moments ago. No one near James as he lets it go. Here's Varejao, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Been a big game for Varejao. 9 points, and the steals are starting to pile up for him also.
They sure have, and clearly he's gotten in their heads because of it, Clark. You guys are looking over their shoulder now, always worrying about where he is.
He's gone 1 of 1 in the game so far from the line.
Taking 2 shots.
No good on the free throw.
Well, Anderson Varejao staying relatively healthy last season. That's to say he only missed 17 games. That's a far cry from his previous 3 seasons where he played a total of just 81 games.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Tyler Hansbrough checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. DeRozan comes in for Terrence Ross. And it's Williams in for Vasquez. And Varejao, Steve, has shown flashes of all-star caliber production at the center position. It's been his injuries that have really held him back.
Yeah, it's good to see him able to remain on the court for most of the season. I mean, a tough year for the Cavs last year record-wise, but Varejao, for him, a step in the right direction health-wise. Now, tough call there on that illegal screen.
He didn't look set to me, Steve. I thought that was a good call.
Cleveland leading by 6. On the wing, Irving. Lowry covering. Varejao with a screen on Williams. LeBron passes to Varejao. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. And 12 points for Anderson Varejao.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Count that one.
Kyle Lowry.
And that's 11 points for Kyle Lowry. We've got 1:18 left here in the second. Lowry against Irving. LeBron drives in, and that's out of bounds. Cleveland will retain possession.
Super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score, so that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it.
1:05 left in the first half. Clock at 6. Irving against Lowry. Kept alive. Here's Varejao. Good work defensively by Lowry.
Yeah, you wonder if he's tired because after that good first quarter, he's really slowed down here in the second.
Cleveland foul call.
DeMar DeRozan is starting to piece it together. I mean, we see him upping his scoring average. He's shooting it better. He's passing the ball with more confidence. He's becoming more efficient. You know, after a big extension from the Raptors, I think they've got to be pleased with his progress.
The free throw dropped for DeRozan. And guys, when you look at DeRozan, where can he take the next step?
Well, he has the physical tools to be an elite perimeter defender. He's made strides, definitely, but you know, he has the potential, I think, to be even better than what he is right now.
DeMar DeRozan hits them both.
DeRozan really playing well. He has 9 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
Yeah, and you'd expect by the end of this game, I'm sure the numbers are going to look even better.
Now here is Varejao. 12 points for him. Pass to Dellavedova. James in the post. Patterson defending. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
You know, in the first, I thought he did a really good job of putting pressure on the defense and creating opportunities at the foul line for himself. Not as much here in the second.
The Cavaliers have shot the ball pretty well from the line, going 8 of 11.
Well, this is a club that shot 75% as a team from the free throw line last season.
That one is off.
Free throws haven't been too kind to them here in the second quarter. I mean, you have the lead with the ability to extend that lead. In order for that to happen, you've got to make your free throws.
And he sinks the second.
The 2-possession lead is what they were looking for there, so they can deal with that one miss.
Patterson setting the pick for Lowry. Feeds to Patterson. Now DeRozan. 9 points in the game so far. 3-pointer. Patterson can't get it to go. Here's Irving. LeBron outside from past the arc. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
And that is simply a dagger on the way to the locker room. That three-pointer feels like a 6-pointer coming when it did right at the end of the half.
And that does it for the first half of play. Cavaliers lead by 8. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin and Dwayne. A very tight game here. What's the number one thing you need to do in the second half to try to get out ahead and break this thing open?
Well, number one is we got to make sure we get in a defensive disposition. You know, right now we're kind of trading buckets. We're anticipating, putting them on the foul line. So we got to play from an anticipatory style of defense, whereas we're not reacting to where they have us on our heels.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Okay, Doris, much appreciated. And now for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.